Hello and welcome. My name is Carsten Lützen. I'm an Agile coach and a Scrum Master. Today I will talk about constraints that I use quite a lot when I work with teams. If you like these videos, please subscribe and share. That would be super awesome. So when we are talking about constraints, the terminology that I tend to use quite a lot comes from Cynefin that was made by Dave Snowden, and his notion of these enabling and governing constraints, because it differs in what system we're working in, what constraints are most effective. Especially when we work within product development, IT, we are often in the complex domain, and that is where we need to behave in a certain way. And that's where it's nice to have this notion of constraints and how is it that we go around with them. And we just start here. The governing constraints, those are the ones that, yes, they create direction, but they also have hard boundaries. And the best example of this is is from Dave Snowden, is this exoskeleton that we see insects have, right? So they cannot grow beyond their exoskeleton. And it's the same with this one. So these governing constraints can sometimes be like legal constraints. We cannot cross this, because if we cross that, then we are in deep problems. But they still, of course, give us some direction in which way to go, but they don't really foster creativity. So often instead, when we're working in complex systems, we are striving to create enabling constraints. And these provide space and direction. And we can think about it as our skeleton in our body, our endoskeleton. So the bones in my arm provide a direction for which my arm can grow and move, but it doesn't stop it from growing, right? And it's the same with these enabling constraints. Here we are saying, okay, so we need to go in this direction, and this is the space that you can operate in. This is the space that you can navigate in. And then let's see what happens in different parts of this. And that is super awesome way of creating this, because here we are limiting our solution space, our room that we navigate in, but that often stifles more creativity instead of just being all over the place. Without locking it down too much. Anyway, this work with constraints, there is so much to it, so I can really just recommend you to go online and then search for enabling constraints and governing constraints and dive into it. There's an entire rabbit hole of how to work with it. So I'm hoping that you will share how are you using constraints in your work, and how do you define them, because I'm always on the lookout for more metaphors, more ways of explaining it. So if you have comments, questions, ideas, or feedback to this video, please send me a message or write a comment. That would be awesome. That's it. Have a super awesome day.